Hello friends, today I am going to tell you about the environmental audit report format, the environmental statement that is required as part of Rule 14 of Environmental Protection Act of 1986. That is form number 5. So there are different parts, and in these different parts what are the expected things that I will tell you today. So as part of part A, it requires the name and address of the owner, occupier of the industry, operation or process, industry category, primary or secondary. So STC codes are expected here to mention. It also requires about production capacity and units associated with it, year of establishment, and date of last environmental statement that is submitted is to be mentioned as part of part A. The next thing is about part B. It requires the data about water consumption in meter cube per day from various processes, cooling purpose, water required for domestic purpose, water required for various products and their processes. So even they mention water consumption per unit of products is necessary to mention here, and that consumption of water during previous financial year and during current financial year. Now remember, most of the information is related with during previous financial year and during current financial year. In addition, raw material consumption, the name of raw materials, name of products, consumption of raw material per unit of output, and that is required for previous financial year and during current financial year. As part of next part, it is C. So pollution generated. So it is necessary to mention or specify the parameters as specified in the consent to operate, consent issued. So pollutants, the quantity of pollution generated, and percentage of variation from prescribed standards with reasons are expected to mention as part of part C. So it is related with water pollution and air pollution. The next thing is about part D. So it is related with the generation of hazardous waste, as mentioned in hazardous waste rules. Previously it was required as part of management and handling rules of 1989. Nowadays these rules of 2016 as modified, the information regarding with these rules is required to mention here. So overall, hazardous wastes generated in the industry, total quantity of hazardous wastes in kilograms, during previous years and during current financial year is required to mention. So the hazardous wastes are generated from processes, from pollution control facilities, and that is necessary to mention here. Next one is part E, and it is related with solid wastes. So wastes generated, total quantity of solid wastes during previous financial year and current financial year, the solid wastes that are generated from processes, from pollution control facility, again quantity recycled or reutilized, it is also necessary to mention in the form. Now part F, here it is mentioned that please specify the characteristics in terms of concentration and quantum, concentration and quantity of the hazardous as well as solid wastes, and indicate the disposal practice adopted for both categories of wastes, hazardous and solid wastes. Next important thing as part of Form 5, environmental statement, okay, report, which is to be submitted by 31st of March every year, and this is compulsory requirement as part of Rule 14 of Environment Protection Act. Part G says impact of pollution control measures on conservation of natural resources and consequently on the cost of production. So here it is necessary, every industry has to mention what measures for conservation, at least in the campus, they have carried out. Next is part H. It is required what? Additional investment proposal for environmental protection, including abatement of pollution. So something which is new, something which is beneficial for industry, beneficial for society, for people, for consumers, what additional things they are doing, investment proposal for protection of environment, abatement of pollution is necessary to write as part of H. In addition, as part of Environment Protection Rules of 1986, and that is part I. So any other particulates in respect of environment and abatement of pollution, something which is more than expected, something which is more than compliance, can be added as part of environmental statement every industry has to submit. Thank you very much.